Hi, good morning, good afternoon. If you're watching this a little later, hello. It's been a little bit. I feel like I'm usually saying that now, but I just wanted to kind of go over my Gradient series releases, Optimism Is Everything, Cold Morning, and Gentle Steps. But first, I just wanted to show off this awesome sweatshirt. I love my country music, comes from the heart. Very true. I just wanted to I just realized it's been so much time with also hello in the chat. It's been so much time in with other projects that going over my album that I've been working on. I just kind of wanted to recap it because I think a lot of people don't know anymore. They probably don't know right now, which is something that has been years in the making at this point. So some of you guys might remember that I have spent like months across the American Southwest going over a ton of landmarks and locations and writing music. If you guys saw Oppenheimer, I was there in the past. I was there on the set in New Mexico. Before there was a set, I was up north near Georgia O'Keeffe's studio near the Rio Grande, and in Las Cruces, Los Alamos, White Sands, the testing ground where they had the atomic bomb. I did not go to the site because no one needs that risk, however small, however paranoid I am. And then a big thing was the time in Saguaro National Park, which is in Arizona. And through those areas, I went to the oldest continually inhabited place in North America, Sky City Pueblo. Mesa Verde in Colorado was a great visit as well, but Sky City, still inhabited. Really, really nice place. So I've just been working through stuff like that for this album. It's a classical album. Thank you. Yeah, good luck on the piano in the chat too. Keep it up. I really appreciate it, and everything. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them about my work. I just wanted to talk about a little bit about the album as well. So I also mentioned that Satoshi Noguchi, who did Elden Ring soundtrack, worked on it. John Chapman, who recorded a lot of stuff for Hans Zimmer's studio, as well, worked on it. The album came together in the Beach Boys Pet Sounds studio. I played piano there, and then I recorded it across LA with some wonderful orchestral musicians. So very classical. It's going to be very classical, just coming from my time across the Southwest and really processing a lot of that. I think the Southwest serves as such a great place to act as a kaleidoscope to filter kind of this national feeling that a lot of Americans have, at least, of transition and wild wilderness. If anyone's ever been to the Grand Canyon, you guys get it, just the massive expanse, and the sense of loneliness when you get out of the tourist areas. It's just so powerful to me. And there's also some fun places. Like I went to the southern mountains of New Mexico where like Billy the Kid lived, and just little kind of bits of history all throughout, and just my own experience. But just want to let you guys know that that's all moving forward. I'm kind of finalizing some things and talking to some people. And I think there's going to be some news in the very near future. So if you've been following that whole Southwest Classical album, thank you. And trust me that this is going to be something that is never forgotten. I've been working on it. It takes time, and thank you. So with that said, also there's the Spotify Wrapped sale that's going on Spotify for my merch. And I'm also just kind of doing some discounts on a few pieces of sheet music on my website, as well as on my shirts. So those awesome shirts that Lucent Matter did, those are going to be a little bit cheaper for the time being, just as a thank you for the Spotify Wrapped, those premium shirts I made. So go ahead and just check that out if you're interested. It would mean a lot to me. Okay, so Optimism Is Everything is these 3 tracks from the Ambient series, which is kind of my exploration of color. I wanted to just start playing Optimism Is Everything, the first track of the final single. There's 3 pieces. And this is just obviously inspired by the color palette in the album art. So just the green, silver, blue stuff that colors that I've been really connecting with lately. This level of green, this shade, I think is really nice. Just going back to my ambient kind of roots, my synthesizers, the piano melody, all that fun stuff. And that big sub bass below everything that's just so playful. And it's doing, right now, the similar melody as the piano, but it changes up a little bit later. Just having these little playful electric pianos on the left and right of you. And then, yeah, the soaring strings come in. Now the bass, the lower stuff, the deeper sounds that are separated from the uppers, they're not doing the same thing anymore. I find that really fun to work with. Kind of like Beatles-ish cello that was not intentional, like Ravi Shankar-ish, but that was not intentional. I just like when cello does that kind of rising stuff. Having this marimba, that's just a percussion instrument that's doing the dun 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 in the background. A lot of reverb, a ton of effects on it. Yeah, I find that one to be pretty reflective of the whole gradient series that I was working for, with always in the back of my mind having these colors, these palettes, these more ambient feelings that hopefully you guys can relate to. I just love writing with like colors in mind. I'm not a good jazz pianist. I'm actually terrible. I can work in like atmospheres and harmonies, but I just don't know really. I don't think in color in that way that I feel like a lot of jazz musicians talk about. You might have heard, if you know anyone that's in like a jazz band or something in high school. I just never could relate to that. But when it comes to like thinking of colors I like and building a release around it, I can do that. Just not as organic, I don't think. When I look at these colors, the green, the blue of this EP, it just really helps a lot. Second track is going to be Cold Morning. So the different colors, I'm not good at switching out stuff on stream. So the EP, it's out there. It's yellow and blue, a little bit of like kind of brownish, but yellow and blue for Cold Morning. And this was just a sense of establishing, I'll play it Cold Morning. Establishing a sense of like the first few days of fall when the weather's changing. It's still kind of the crossover of summer. More straightforward. This track is done well on streaming. Not that I wrote it for streaming, I just wrote it because I liked it. But I'm glad the atmosphere in this one kind of resonated with you guys. I appreciate it. Some more of that playful electric piano. And obviously like the string plucks, like the dun, dun, dun. Just keeping it light. I like this one. I like the pizzicato strings, just plucking. And then this build is, I think, a lot of fun. Yeah, but it doesn't end. I keep the tension going. You think it's going to resolve, but then it keeps going. And this is the resolution coming up. And if you guys don't know a ton about like music theory stuff, I did actually the worst AP test in high school was the music theory AP exam, which is very funny, I think. My history exam was great. I love history. AP music theory, no, it's not good. And that's what I do for a living now. But what I was saying is that when I say resolution, it's just those moments where you can kind of take a breath when you're listening to something like this and you can kind of relax. That's just the resolution. And then that nice marimba coming down. I still find that not a lot of composers use marimba. I think it's one of the most beautiful instruments, especially when you can get proper effects on it, proper reverb. That's the end. I may have ended it a little early because I didn't want it to go into the next one. My bad. People don't use marimba. I feel like I'm one of the few. Jennifer Higdon, a classical composer I really look up to, she uses a lot of marimba, but that's like in the more traditional concert setting. I feel like a lot of people that are writing music that's on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff that's on playlists, kind of in my world, no one uses marimba, which is a shame because I think everyone could use more marimba. Gentle Steps is the third track. It was the first one released, so you guys might be a little confused, but I released it in a different order than I wrote them. Gentle Steps is the first one released, then there was Cold Morning, then there's Optimism Is Everything. But in reality, they were written the other way. Optimism Is Everything written first, and then Cold Morning, and then Gentle Steps. So Gentle Steps is for Issa. Issa has been, it was the first kind of niece. I've been really happy to kind of given her this track to kind of welcome her into the world, Isabel. But Issa nickname, and here's Gentle Steps. The colors here are going to be more of a vibrant medium blue and pink purple and a little bit of white. You guys can check out the EP art for Gentle Steps. I think it'll be pretty clear to you. I really love the piano melody I wrote here. I think it's nice. I like it. This one has that driving kind of walking feeling to it, right? And it's obviously intentional. For someone that will learn to walk. That's kind of the goal. French horn's really prominent in this one. So French horn, I also play the French horn. It's a very hard instrument that takes a lot of practice to get good at again once you stop for years and focus on piano, but trying to get more French horn into my music. Playful electric piano, just in the right side. Big horn cello, pretty high up. Cello's usually a deeper, richer kind of zone, but I think when it's in that sing-song high register, it's nice. Yeah, that's wrapping up Gentle Steps, kind of going in reverse order. I really liked working on this gradient series. I just call it gradient series because all the artwork is in a gradient. I wanted to work in colors that can kind of shift around in your mind a little bit, and kind of give you something that was a little bit more ambient again, but still with that strong sense of melody that I like to write with. And I hope the sensitivity I was going for came across for you guys. Thanks to everyone who's listened to it on streaming and Apple Music and Spotify mainly. It's where most of my streams are. But I really appreciate it. It's been so fun to write. I have 2 more releases coming out before the new year. It's kind of a slow time for streams. Everyone gets into the holidays in America with Thanksgiving, and then there's a lot of traveling, and then people are wrapping up stuff for the new year. So there's going to be 2 little tracks coming out that were fun to write. Two releases, sorry. Many tracks, but 2 releases. And then I hope to have some big updates. I hope to have some big updates for the album that I just mentioned at the start of this. Just having that sense of intention that's been really big with me. And I hope to have some news. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but fingers crossed there's going to be some news on that classical album. I'll be sharing more pictures from my time writing it. I've still been gathering content for it. I went up to the mountains in California to take care of some more of the playful images that could be used for this album. But in general, it's going to be, a lot of it is going to be coming from that time I actually spent deep in the Southwest, talking to everyone that I came across and just trying to strike a conversation with random groups of people at restaurants or out at bars, just to try and kind of get a sense of the land. And I think if you guys like instrumental, you like classical, if you like that more kind of pure, intimate sound from me, if you like solo piano, you're gonna have, I think, a good time with this album. There's not much solo piano, but there's that sense of kind of stripped down feeling to a lot of this album, to a lot of these string players and French horn and piano and just everything that happened. Everything that was written for this album is just very intimate. There's a lot of heavier stuff on it, stuff that I've thought a lot about and really revised over and over again until I got it to a point where I liked it. So I'm just really happy to share that with you guys in the new year. I might stream again to talk about these 2 releases that are coming up before the new year. But in general, just thanks for listening to this. Thanks for listening to all of my music this year. People that have listened from all over the world. I've gotten so many nice comments from like Brazil and Europe and Mexico. It's just, people have been very, very nice about this. Taiwan has been very supportive this year, which was surprising. So thank you Taiwan. And thanks to everyone who's just been listening to my work. I honestly just means so much to me. My head is like focused on this news that I can't really fully share with you right now. Um, but yeah, and also I am really considering a series of concerts, uh, a tour. It's hard to do on my own. So the more I can work with an outside company, the more information I'll have with you guys. But that's something that will be a possibility. It's probably the first I do is going to be piano, maybe some string players. I saw Ada Sevenson, the composer. I talked with her and saw her in LA. And she did something kind of similar, and I thought it was really nice. And I think coming with my approach to a similar instrumentation would be really good. And then Joop Beving, I saw him as well. I'm not as familiar with his work, but I went to his concert. I don't know him personally, um, and his stuff was so stripped down. It was just piano. I'd like to kind of put on more of a colorful show for you guys, with a little more energy than some of the classical composers, because I think my music has. I want to really highlight that kind of sense of color, even if it's just me at a piano. I think it will be great. I think it'll be a great show if everything can get planned properly, which it will if I do it. I just have all that kind of going around in my head, but I just wanted to take a second to pop in, let you know about the album, kind of go over the Gradient series releases. Let me know what your favorite one is. Let me know which of the three, which of the color palettes you like the most, which of the ambient worlds I built most. Obviously, Gentle Steps has such an intention going to my niece that there's a lot of personal stuff attached to that. Cold Morning is just a love letter to that time in fall, and Optimism Is Everything is just an overall feeling of support, and clarity that I tried to communicate. So let me know. But thanks for kind of joining along with this and for all the support you've given to me. Check out the merch. We really appreciate it. It's on sale now. And take care. Bye.